bit spender time and a little bit of investment advice. What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Dante here, back in Digimon Laboratory with a little bit of a special market watch today. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start this video off with, look, I am not your financial advisor. I am a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. So please spend your money accordingly. Please make sure that all your finances are taken care of before you dump it into any kind of gotcha game, TCG, anything to that extent whatsoever. If you are not doing this for fun, if you're trying to flip this game for a profit, Digimon is not the game to flip for a profit. It is not the game to go ahead and invest into to try to make money off of, because the cards do not hold as hard of a value as other TCGs may do it, like White Shorts or Final Fantasy or Dragon Ball has a good value, or even Yu-Gi-Oh! So remember, I am not your financial advisor, period. I am not hired by you. I'm just a guy on YouTube making YouTube videos because I like you and I like doing it. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do a market watch / investment tip from my point of view, how I look at things, how I see trends, the whole entire nine. I want to start on this page because, as you can see, there are cases on here. And I've actually been asked by a few people if I wanted to invest into like a case to like take it, hold it, put it to the side, or even buy a case, crack into it, get the highest amount of value out of it. In my opinion, it's going to be 1.0 or 1.5. 1.0 most likely has some good cards in it, but I think consistently the pull rate in 1.5 is a little better, especially when it comes to money cards. Sure, you have stuff like the Magnet Angemon that's in 1.0. That's like, was it $40 card for an SR, $50 card for, no, 60, almost a $60 card for a alternate art. That in one box, you can probably pull 2-3 of those Magna Angemons. And even if you pull 2, that's $80 right there. MSRP of 1.0 is, if I'm not mistaken, it is around 120 a box. Quick math. So about 140 a box. So that's about the rate of 1.0 going for. So you pull 2 Magna Angemons, you will gain about 2/3 of your profit back, somewhere around there. About 50 to 60% of your money back in that box. Not to include if you get an alternate art of it or anything like that, and you can flip them. That's the thing. You have to be able to flip them. I still think 1.0, 1.5 probably the keys when it comes to investing into a like a case. You won't buy a case and kind of just throw it to the side. It really won't age too harshly. It's gonna be more like a fine wine because we don't know how Bandai really do its reprints. We don't know if there's a certain reprint schedule, or reprint theme, or some kind of like timeline. We haven't figured it out yet, and I don't think that they necessarily have one. I think they're just up in the air with it. Oh, we're gonna do a Holy Angel, starter deck with new Seraphim and Alphanimons. And you might see the Magna Angemon get reprinted in there. Something like that. Wherever they feel like, hey, let's make some money off of it. We can reprint this card so it's a lot cheaper for a lot of people that didn't, get into the game when we first got into it. So, yeah, just be cautious of that. But if it had to be a case, I'm looking at 1.0, 1.5. I wouldn't do Etch Record. I wouldn't do really any of these, smaller sets. As you can see, there's nothing in classic collections outside of the analog boards, like 40, $50. I think it's probably up to 60 now. Alternate, and then the Machine Dramon, which is Alternate, and then those pull rates are trash. You don't know what you're going to get up in there. You might get all SRs and one secret, or you might get two alternate arts in a seat. Like the pool rates are trash. Do not invest into side sets like that. If you want to buy a case because it's cheap, sure, but you might make money, you might not. It all depends. Just my little spiel on buying cases. Now, Omnimons, there's going to be a couple of people fighting this $4,000 spike here. So you got one person just trying to get rid of it. He's like, yo, $500, give me $500. You want the card? I got you, fam. But you see people around here. Somebody's here at $1,000. 33 sales here. You got a light play here for $1,100. You got one here for $14. PPG's doing $1,500. March card doing $1,500. Like, people are trying to combat this this deep pocket that went in and just bought everything. Like, they're trying to combat it. So more props to you, more ups to you. I still would aim for that $1,000 mark if you can get one of these bad boys to get it graded. Kind of aim for something that can be graded to probably a 9.5 or higher PSA. That way you can hold it, grade it, put it to the side. 9 is usually it's at the bottom end of near mint 9. It's like printing errors and stuff like that. Anything that's really light play, if they can see like the light play of it, they're knocking down below a 9. So 9 like really is where you want to go. Duromon. So Duromon is seeing its stability here. Duromon is a good generic X antibody searcher. This brings me to a point about investing into alternate arts. Now, I think I had about 7 or 8 people actually hit me up personally and ask me, you know, hey, what do you think about this? Or hey, what do you think? I'm spacing right now. What do you think about, you know, picking these up? What do you think about picking these up? There's a lot that goes into looking at the future financially. Now, you want to pick up alternate arts because you think that you can make a quick buck in about 3 to 6 months, or you want to pick up alternate arts to say, hey, it's not here yet, but I feel like this is going to be a great card going into the future. There's 2 different ways of looking at it. I see when I do market watches and which one I should do and which one I shouldn't do, I really do look at both of those and then, you know, look at what, you know, should be a good thing to pick up before spikes in price. Because I notice the Digimon community is about a set or 2 behind the hype. So they don't really invest into something unless the hype is within 4, maybe 4.5 months out. We saw it with the Alphamon stuff. We saw it with the Beelzemon from BT 1.0. We saw it with the I'm trying to think. Oh, the Imperiodemon stuff. How that was spiking up in price. So you gotta be wary about that. Now, Duromon, I feel like Duromon is at its absolute peak at about 50. It might go up about $5. It might go down about $5. But this is its peak. This is its average peak right here. It'll stay about 50. If the deck ever get hit, you're going to see people drop this card like a hot potato. Now, will Alphamon be good if it does get hit? Maybe. Do I think Alphamon will get hit? Yeah. With the showings and Gen Con, all that kind of stuff, I can see it being hit. There have been sources that I'm in contact with that has very, 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 very good knowledge that we might see a slight touch to Alphamon. I'm still a little wary. I always stay skeptical until it actually is true. Digimon only had this is only second ban list, so second ban or restricted list. So I'm still a little skeptical on sources and that kind of stuff right now. The game is still relatively new, but I will say that a source is saying that Alphamon might get touched, and yeah, we'll see. This card, honestly, I would get rid of it if you're not playing Alphamon and if somebody wants to pick up Alphamon, get rid of it. Just like here you go, just get rid of it. Lucamon Chaos Mode. So Lucamon Chaos Mode Altanar is sitting at about $52. This is a toughie. Now, why did I say this is a toughie? We have shifted from a more control style oriented top meta format with, Mastermind, Yellow Hybrid, that kind of format to a aggressive build a stat type of format. And cards like Lucamon needs a deck that can flow with it. And Mastermind it's right now it's his permanent home. If the format ever slows down and becomes more of a control type of base, or actually I could see this card actually going up to about 60, me personally. And this is why I do the Future Visions series. Even though I know a lot of people don't really care too much about it, it gives you a deep look into the future sets to know what cards can potentially be good. Come BT9, we're going to have a lot of this save mechanic, the cross mechanic, the evade mechanic, all those type of things. And the save mechanic puts the Digimon and the sources underneath a tamer. So it's almost like fueling up for a hybrid type of push, if you get what I'm saying. So a lot of cards don't hit tamers. This does. So will Mastermind see a resurgence because a lot of people are playing them over the same mechanic? I think red yellow would be a good hybrid color to actually play. Going to BT10. So that's going to be a very good color to look out for. But then look out for cards that pop security. I mean, not pop security, but pops tamers. Look out for those cards because those cards might be something that a lot of people will try to invest into or might even want depending on what their color is. Purple, you see it right now. Purple has the color. We might even see a slight bump up in playability when it comes to Black War Greymon. Because it can hit tamers, and a lot of those tamers that do the save mechanic are 3-cost tamers. So Black War Greymon can actually pop a couple of them and get rid of a lot of the the tamers and the material underneath them. So it really can hinder the save mechanic if it comes across that matchup. But Black War Greymon is naturally cloggy and pretty slow. It's not inconsistent, it's just slow because it's huge Digivolution cost. So, can I see Lucamon Chaos Mode Altanar go up? Yes, I actually can. If you don't have one or two of these, if you plan on playing Mastermind or, Purple in general, and you need, to play Mastermind probably as a meta call, if it does get to that point because of Lucamon, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and pick them up. Beelzemon Blast Mode. This is one of these weird cards. I mean, it's 55 right now. It's one of these weird cards that you should invest into, but then you shouldn't. There will be hype coming around the release of BT10, maybe right after heading towards EXO3. We don't know when we're going to get the Beelzemon starter deck just yet. I think in the OCG it's is in November? I think either October or November when they get it. But I think they get it at BT11 over there. So over here we might not get it until the first of the year or somewhere around January. Still got a little bit of time. I don't think these are going down because they're from a side set. And that's the other caveat that you have to actually think about. Side sets, when they have big ticket items like this, is going to spike in price harder because it's harder to get. Not many people open side sets unless there's a meta deck coming right out the gate in the side set. And we haven't had that in BT yet. So one, nor have we had that yet. So two, we have playability cards. We have playable cards. We have good cards come out yet. So two, but we didn't have a meta deck come out of it. Just parts and just, nice little decks and engines and niche decks that you can go ahead and play around with. Some more Gallimon support. I'm surprised Gallimon really falling by the wayside. I think Alphamon really is suppressing it, to be honest with you, because it is as explosive as where Gurumon and Metal Gurumon X antibodies, but I feel like it needs one extra card more, and that's probably what's hindering it. So maybe in the future when we get that stuff in EXO, well, no, it's not EXO 3, is it? No, it's not EXO. Maybe. No, that's the Megadramon. No, the Megidramon. The one that is Chaos Gallimon support. So we'll have to see what kind of support they get, coming into the future that really will ramp that deck up to be a meta type of deck. It's a good deck. It's a good tier 2/rogue deck, but yeah, it's just not faring as good. And I don't know how the Beelzemon deck is going to fare after its structure deck. We'll have to see. They have a lot of cards they can put in the middle for the level 4s and 5s. I know Balmon is coming out in BT10. I think there's a Balmon coming out and another Beelzemon. But I think that structure deck is really going to make the deck actually just flow and function. So this is a weird one. If you was taking a risk and going out on a limb for this one, I will understand, because it can be a $60 card, but they would have to do the structure deck right, and it's a long time away. So just be wary of that one. So Death Exmon is a card that is seeing play in all purple decks, all black decks, Mother D Reaper. This card can actually go up to a $100 card for the alternate. Right now it's sitting at about 75 for near mint, 76 for near mint. Thing about it is you only really need to play 2, maybe 3 of it. You don't want to really see this too often, especially at the beginning of the game. You kind of want to see this turn 3, turn 4, just to have it in hand. But really, you drop it like turn 5 plus, just to drop it to either end games, control games, that kind of stuff. That's why Mother D Reaper love it so much, because they control so hard. Then when they drop Death Exmon, it's pretty much a wrap. So yeah, this card is a great card. It's going to stay around at 60. It is $75, not 65, $75 mark. Might go up to 80. It's not a card that you really want to invest too much into. If you want to go ahead and get the regular arts, if you want the alternate arts because you want to bling it out, sure. But I want to do this as an investment type of thing. Just if you want to play it, go ahead and play it. A card I like to see as an investment type of card would be Chimeramon, and specifically the alternate art. The alternate art Chimeramons are sitting at about 35s. That's not bad. This card was once a $50 card. It went down to 40. I think this is probably its lowest price point that I've seen it at. Of course, you got day dip. We got 1 day dips that like, oh, it's 25 and then goes back up to 37. So this card, a lot of Imperial Mon players have been seeing taking this card in for that fifth, just that fifth level 5. It's flexible, all that good stuff. But also, it has a very unique trait and compulsive. And I think Deltamon is the only other Digimon that has that. I'm like thinking, are they going to create some kind of like art type around this? Chimeramon would be the perfect catalyst to do a Digimon Emperor style deck around. Just like having like, I don't know, delete this Digimon to play the Digimon from your hand or trash for free. It's like a white version of it, to where it has different effects depending on if you have that Digimon in your trash or not, or like just a style of deck. Because Digimon Emperor, when a level 5 or higher is deleted, you tap it to draw a card, and it punishes your opponent for raising a level 3 Digimon from their raising area. So it's more of a upside type, it's more of an upside type of tamer. So they can mess around with this. I think this card is a good glue and bridge for really any deck or really any strategies. If you like, hey, I have a 4 of here, but there's not really too many Digimon that work with it just yet, throw in a couple of Chimeramons. There's your glue right there to go to bridge off into anything you really want or need. So yeah, I think this is probably a good investment of a card. To be honest with you, I think this card is future proof because it has the capability of being splashed in any and every deck. When you Digivolve into a with dual cards, you got 3 sources. All you need is one other to make it 4 to get that extra bonus for Chimeramon. And then it's free Digivolution. So if you're ever in a pickle and you need to get to a level 6 with a couple Digimon out, you then smack them together, play Chimeramon, play Imperialdramon, and then there you go. Or something like that to that extent. Play any level 6 on top of this, and then you'd be good to go. So I think this is probably a great card to invest into if you can pick up the alternate arts for around like $25. Great card to have. Maybe pick up a playset just to hold on to them. Simple. Not specifically Rika, but really any alt-art tamers. Now, why do I say any alt-art tamers? We see that alt-art tamers hold its value even if the alt-art gets reprinted. We see alt-art Matt from BT 1.0 still be like a $20 alternate art despite being reprinted in an alternate art form, but the style was a little bit different, so people want the OG. Just like Mimi. Mimi's new alternate art is like $4 or $5, but the original alternate art of Mimi is like 20. So picking up these OG alternate arts for the tamers are not a bad investment, especially if you can get them pretty cheap. I want to say break the bank. Like, for example, I wanted to get a playset of alt-art Rikas. I like the art style of Rika. I do like the Renamon line. I'm a huge fan of it. I have a deck that I'm building right now. I'm about to make a deck profile out of it. All those type of things. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic to have those kind of alternate arts. And it's a great investment, especially if you can pick them up cheaply after the initial release of the set. Get these alternate arts and just hold them because you never know. Perfect example is Marcus. Marcus at one point in time was like a 80-cent or $1 alternate art. People didn't want it, and then all of a sudden, Tribal Greymon was playing Marcus because of the ability to attack, suspend, gain a memory, and it went up to like a $10 to $12 alternate art, almost 15, like almost overnight. So you never know when those things are going to spike. So it's always good to have these Altenart tamers. Now, these Altenart side set tamers, they're always going to be high and expensive. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say yeah, you got Takato sitting at like 26, 27. Yeah. And then Rika is just a good card. It's a memory tamer. The Renamon line, it allows you to play options for free. If you have more than one of them, you can play, I mean, not options, but plugins. Play plugins for free. Allows you to play multiple plugins. You have multiple Rikas. It's just a very good line. You just, and then the I Am Mako. If you can pick up this I Am Makos for like $15, I would say pick them up. Because of the Beelzemon structure deck coming out. Pick these up. This is the Callus. This is what they might even reprint I Am Mako in there as a lower rarity, but this is going to go up in price because it's a side set Altenart. Just be wary of stuff like that. So I put up Anubismon here for the event packs. So I think every set is an after Great Legend, I want to say, has like this event pack. And it has like different alternate arts and stuff like that. And a lot of people really just throw these to the side. Unless you are like, oh, I want that Agumon, or I want that Gabumon. These are good cards to invest into, especially with cards that a lot of people don't want. Like, for instance, this Anubismon. I think Anubismon is a great Digimon, but there's not really much playability with it just yet. You can say, yeah, but you can splash in any deck. Yeah. Any deck that wants to turbo out of trash, by all means, you can throw in Anubismon and they all get rushed. Get it, got it, good. Understand that 100%. I want to make this card work, just not viable right now. But it's going to come a day to where they're going to have so much shaman support. And who's to say that it won't be, around the Olympus 12? Who's to say they won't make Diana a shaman and give it, a lot of support? Diana might a shaman and give a lot of support. Or, reamp Apocalypse and give it support. Like, not Apocalypse, Apollomon. Sorry, not Apocalypse, Apollomon. And give it support. Or give it, Marsmon. Redo Marsmon and give it support. Like, and then they just make them shamans. Like, shamans are pretty powerful. Anubismon, Titanmon is a shaman, but there's no real like deep shaman love. Be wary for that, because if they do make this card a viable deck to build around, watch this card spike up in price. Something to look forward to. Kind of a small little thing on the back end. Now, I'll put Nokia here, not only to throw in with the Altar Tamers as well, like I was saying. Nokia is a very good card, $18 for Altenart. To be real with you, I think Nokia is probably the most future-proof tamer you can have. And why do I say that? Well, first of all, she's a waifu. Waifu tax is a thing. The card would just stay up in price for some it happens when there's females in the cards. 2, not only is it a good alternate art tamer, it is an alternate art tamer for 2 of the mascots of the Digimon trading card game. Agumon, Gabumon, Vmon. Those 3 Digimon are mascots in this card game. They're the most recognizable mascots, period. The most recognizable. You can say, yeah, all these other Digimon, but these 3 Digimon, Gabumon, Agumon, and Vmon, are the most loved, and they will be the most supported out of the 3. Having Nokia being able to work with any Gabumon, Agumon, and their lines just generically across the board, this card is always a good investment to have. It may not spike in price because it is like a techable card. It's like, okay, you'll throw in a couple of them. You see it, you see it, you don't. So it's not like, oh, we have to be dependent on it. But it is a good card that if you want something that's going to be future proof, that somebody might trade later on down the line because they want to play the newest the newest Metal Garurumon, the newest War Greymon, or anything to that extent. Or have a, Jorgus Omnimon that plays with those cards instead. Did you Jorgus into the Omnimon and does something like super duper busted or anything like that? Like that kind of stuff. This card will be seeing a little bump in price, maybe stay around the $20 to $30 mark. Yeah, it's good trade bait to pick up. Now, this ties into, and by the way, the Creepamon is sitting about 15.5. This one ties into the, it's coming, but you don't know when. We are missing, I think, half of the 7 great Demon Lords. There's Beelzemon, Creepamon, which is Daemon. There's Lilithmon, and then there's Lucemon. But then we're missing, I think it's Leviathanmon, Bealveth, no, not Bealveth, Bahameth Mon and his sleep mode. And I don't think we have Babamon yet. But we're missing like 3 of them. And if they ever give generic support to like 7, I know like Entmon is generic support for yada yada yada. But I'm talking like good, consistent generic support for like Demon Lords and 7 great Demon Lords, like how they doing in EXO3 with the 7 great dragons or the 4 great dragons. You're going to see these kind of cards spike up in price. Just something to have on the side. Again, we don't know. If you can get cheap in a trade, go ahead and do so. Pick you up a few copies of them. It's like, hey, it is what it is going to be. I think the most expensive alternate is probably going to be the Lilithmon when it comes to them, outside of Beelzemon. So like Beelzemon and Lilithmon are probably going to be the 2 most expensive ones just because, like, they're fan favorites. But don't know when, but they're going to support this, and they might support it in a very major way. Just be wary of that one. If you can get these memory boosts for under $10, this would be a great investment for future purposes. Honestly, I feel like these are future proof as well. And I don't really call too many things future proof because things get power crept all the time. But if you really if Bandai really power creeps these with something more busted, it's going to pretty much it's going to break the game slowly but surely. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about in a good / bad way. Because you have Reinforced Memory Boost, which was actually a very great yellow card that a lot of people played at like 2 or 3s in yellow deck. Yeah, so what it 6 memory cost, but I look at the top 2, I get one in my hand, I recover security, and then I get a delay of 3 memory. People didn't care. So they saw how good and powerful that was. They hit it to 1. They knew Mother D Reaper was coming. They had to hit it. So picking up 2 or 3 copies of these promo alternate art memory boost ones is not a bad investment. They've been slowly but surely going up over time. I think the purple one is still the cheapest at like $9, maybe $10. The red one's over 10. The green one's over 10. I think the green one's over 11. The blue one's almost at, I think the blue one's at 14. Yeah, almost 15. So these cards are going to be relevant forever unless they do something really, 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 really stupid. Don't think they will. I think Bandai's been doing a fantastic job. Just saying. So look to pick up a few of these. I don't think they're going to go. I'd be surprised if they hit 20. If these things hit 20, I'd be actually shocked. I think 10 to 15 is probably a very good price point for them. But you know, the more sets we get, and the further back these go, the high up in cost it will go. So pick these up while you can. Don't you don't need a play set, but pick you up a few of them, especially if you want to try to trade for use them as trade bait later on down the line. Last card I want to go ahead and put up is McGee. And why do I put up McGee? First of all, there's support for Galletmon in the next 3 sets, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say it's EXO3 has a McGee out. It's like Chaos Galletmon / Galletmon support. I think it's more in tune with the evil side of Galletmon. BT10. Ooh, if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look at BT10. I have not yet did a future visions on that one, but yeah, I know I'm a little bit out of order on that. I'm doing EXO3 but not BT10. That's because for some reason BT10 is not clicking in my head. I'll probably get on it. If I don't, please forgive me. But just to know, this was here for a placeholder. If you see something that you like, hey, that can possibly be good later on down the line, because they keep on giving more and more support to this, specific art type, like not just Galletmon, but Chaos Galletmon. They're trying to make Chaos Galletmon a deck in itself. Be wary of that, because Altanars like this that are in them size sets, they would just go up. So be wary of that just because you like, oh, but Galletmon really is a red type of deck. But if Chaos Galletmon is counterpart and they're pushing out more and more support towards Chaos Galletmon, be wary of that. And you can put this in any, you can make a red purple hybrid. This gets deleted. You play a Guilmon, doesn't matter if it's red, blue, purple, yellow, whatever kind of Guilmon, play a Guilmon, play a Takato for free. And then who's to say they won't make it like a purple Takato? Like so many different routes and avenues. You have to really look at what's coming out, what we don't have support for. Because Bandai's been very, very good about giving legacy support to certain things, like they did Bit Black blockers. You can now play it with some of these other cards that's like, yeah, your blockers 2,000 more DP on your opponent's turn. This blocker becomes 3,000 more on your opponent's turn. Things like that. So they do want to flesh out what color does what, and they're doing it in a very good way without breaking the game. Well, just my, just how I look at things when I look at it from an investment point of view, or how do I think when it comes to, should I really talk about this card? Should I wait to talk about this card? Should I tell people to pick up this card up? Should I tell people to sell this card? Don't worry about this card. Just a little, my opinion and my thoughts on this. Well, I know it was a little long one. I know I didn't hit on too much of the big cards that a lot of people wanted, but I will do a Bit Boys market watch. A lot of people like that. I won't do a Bit Boys market watch for the bit spinners yet again. Try to get the bit spinners, or what alternate arts are popping, which alternate arts you probably should pick up now before they actually go up a little bit more, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be the next market watch. So just to let you know, I got things coming out. You're gonna be seeing 2, 3, 4 videos every week out of this channel. I got things coming out, so just stay tuned. Without further ado, I've been your boy Dante. This has been yet another market watch, and I see you in the next video. Peace.